Welcome back, everyone. We have none other than Real Housewives of New Jersey star Danielle Cabral here. Is that pronounced right? Cabral?
No, you got to make it as Italian as possible. Cabral.
Cabral. I love that.
Cabral. Even though my husband's Portuguese, I say Cabral.
I love it.
Yeah.
Welcome. How's
Thank
it
you.
feeling? You know, this is your first season on Jersey Housewives. Now that it's playing back, how does it all feel? Is it what you expected?
I mean, yes and no. You know, you think you're going into something. I don't know how big it was. I mean, this is a big show, and the Bravo fans are right there.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, watching it back, you're like, oh God, oh God. Yeah. But it's what I thought times a million, I guess.
Yeah. How have you enjoyed the interactions with the fans on social media?
It's been okay. It's been okay. I mean, they don't hate me.
Yeah.
Not all of them. So I mean, that's good. I'll take that as a win.
Yeah.
You know, but you can't look at all of it. It'll mess up your mind, and I have to be a wife and a mom. So I don't want that to take me down, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I would say the Jersey fans are the most intense out of
Passionate.
every franchise.
God, so intense. And it's like you have people that are either they love you or they hate you. They hate everything about you. They hate the way your hair parts. They hate everything. It's like, oh God, oh God, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Now your family issues have become obviously a hot topic this season. Were you surprised that the ladies asked so many questions about it? Do you now sort of regret bringing it up, or how do you feel?
So I'm not surprised that they ask questions, because I still ask questions. It's normal. I think I was a little upset in the manner that they asked, and how they did not care about my emotions or my feelings, and it was trying to get stuff on me or try to make me look like a bad person. That was something that I wasn't used to, because I'm used to whenever I open up to people that are my friends, no matter what they think, they're there for me. And I didn't get that from them. So that was very upsetting. But I don't regret bringing it up, because it made sense to, because my friend Teresa and my new friend Melissa were going through the same thing, and I didn't want them to end up like me.
Yeah. It is pretty crazy when you mirror the two situations of like what's going on. Like, you are the Teresa and your brother is the Joe Gorga and his wife is the Melissa. Like, the two situations are very different. Very similar.
Very similar. And in last week's episode, you know, Joe touched a little bit on our conversation. We had like an hour conversation at the baseball field. And I think in a weird, twisted, sick way, I was talking to him as if he was my brother, and he was talking to me as if I was his sister. And we were like actually communicating, and, you know, it's a sad situation for everybody involved.
Yeah, it is. We saw Jackie specifically be one to kind of hound you about this and think that there's more to the story with you and your brother. Are you surprised that she specifically had a hard time believing your story?
No, she was gunning for me from when I didn't invite her to my party. So it makes sense. She had it out for me. She couldn't get like over that. And even if I said a million times, like, hey, you made me feel a certain way, it was never, well, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. It was, well, I'm going to make you feel like shit now every time I see you. You know, I'm not surprised.
This sort of stemmed from before that a little bit, because I know you said that when you all went over to Margaret's that she stared you down, she looked you up and down. Do you think any of it stems from sort of the shift in roles this season? Obviously, Jackie, I think, came from the start as a friend. You were full-time. Do you think that played a part at all?
I wasn't full-time. None of us were.
Okay.
I didn't know I was full-time till mid-season.
Okay.
And we were told everybody has a spot. So there was no competition, which maybe helped, because if there was a competition, maybe it would have been even dirtier.
Yeah.
You know, but I think what it came down to, Jackie apparently is very educated. Jackie was a lawyer. Jackie is very different than me. So here I was, this like fun, bubbly, I don't know how to spell certain words, I'm just having a good time. And I think she hated everything about me from the get-go. I think it was like, this is who is going to join our friend group. This instead of like, oh my God, I love this girl. She's so much fun. We're no competition because we're nothing alike.
Yeah.
I think she had a problem with that from the beginning.
You guys are very different, that's for sure.
But different's good.
Yeah.
Different could be good. If everybody was the same, the world wouldn't go around.
And it wouldn't be a fun show.
Right. It wouldn't be a fun show. So
Danielle, have you heard from your brother and his wife regarding the show airing and you talking about it?
Nope. I don't know if they watch. I don't know anything.
Did you has that been in your mind? Like, are they going to reach out to me? Are they watching these episodes? Have you thought about that season's airing?
Yeah. What people don't understand is that before this happened, we had an extremely close family, like Sunday dinners every Sunday. He's the godfather to both of my children. And, you know, like we were extremely close. So my life is a new life for me. I'm 3 years in, almost 3 years into a new life that I had 34 years of living gone. So it's a thing that's living every single day. And I feel every single day, you know?
Yeah, I almost think like the ladies, I get how they said, you know, they don't understand it. I think it's almost they used the wrong wording. I almost think they should have just said, oh, maybe that's surprising that you guys would have a falling out over what you know, said it was.
Right.
Might have been just miscommunication. I don't know.
No, I think we come from a world where more shit exists under the surface from what people are saying. So they're going to lump me into that.
Gotcha.
Like, no, it's definitely not the case. She definitely did something. Okay. It's going to come out in the news and we're going to bring it out because that's what they're used to. Sure. They're not used to like somebody just authentically telling the truth. Oh, it has to be.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Imagine that. Yeah.
Considering you have your own family drama, what has been your perspective about the Gorga Giudice? I mean, obviously this is going on for a long time, but what's been your perspective getting to know them and seeing what's going on in their family?
So from an outsider looking in, it's kind of like, okay, let's all go our separate ways. But being in it and actually having conversations with both sides, you know, it's a really sucky situation because they hate each other so much that they don't realize that they love each other. That makes any sense.
That's interesting.
There's a fine line between hate and love. And I think they hate the fact that they love each other so much and they can't just be like, bye. But I think right now is the best thing to do is just stay away, stay apart because it's not good.
Yeah. It's almost better. I've heard that many times in the past that like, if you hate someone, you at least like there's love somewhere in there rather than like indifference where you just have no feelings whatsoever about a situation.
Well, that's where Teresa is these days. She is like, I just don't want to talk. I don't want to deal. And I get it. Imagine I tell her all the time. I say, I don't know how you did this for so long. Yeah. Like I'd be 90 pounds soaking wet because of my anxiety, you know? And I think she's just at a point now where she's just like, let's be separated for a little bit. You know, they don't bring anything good to each other's lives. So why bring the negative?
Sure. Do you feel like Louis being in the mix has helped the situation or hurt it? Because we saw him getting very involved at the Shore House fight, Rachel's.
You want to know something? Like people have saying that whatever they want to say about Louis, I actually loved it. I loved that he did that. Yeah. Right? He didn't talk to I don't think he talked bad to Teresa. Teresa has a tendency when the world is nice and calm to come in like a tornado, like Miley Cyrus with the wrecking ball. Here she comes. Yeah. And I think Louis was like, chill. Let me try to make this better. That's not disrespecting a woman. So when I'm hearing like, no, he is the nicest guy. Quirky? Oh, you best believe he is. But you got to love him for that. You got to love him for that. And I think at that moment, he was trying to tell Teresa, like, calm down. Let's talk it out. Don't come on an attack. And I applaud him for doing that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Something he said that stuck to me that I agreed with him was that Teresa and Joe are so similar because they both are very rigid and like stubborn on their opinions and they don't change. And I feel like that is why they clash because the two siblings are so similar. And I agreed with
all three of them, right? Because when Teresa asked Melissa to be in the bridal party, just say yes. Be like, we know Teresa's not going to come out and give you a sympathetic poem when she asks you to be in the party. We know she's going to come out and say, oh my God, I know you want to be in my wedding. So you want to be in my wedding? Yeah. We know this. I don't know Teresa for half as long as Melissa does.
Mhm.
Just say yes. And
Yeah.
the problem with all three of them is not one bends.
They
And
all
when not one bends, no one's gonna win.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
Next week we saw a preview for Margaret's friend Laura spills some sort of secret about one of your co-stars. It's been reported that this is the thing that's about Melissa. What was your reaction when you first heard that rumor?
I was like, oh man, damn. That puts me in a really tight spot because I'm friends with Melissa.
Yeah.
And it puts everybody in a tight spot. Nobody wants to hear that. I'm not one to bring anybody down. As you can see, like people talk crap to me, I'm not going to run. But then there comes a point where you're like, oh God, what do I do here?
Right.
It was not, I didn't want to hear it. It was,
yeah.
Did you believe it then?
No, you don't want to believe something like that.
No.
You don't want to believe that because you see the two of them and on the surface, they look like a happy married couple. You never know what goes on behind closed doors, but on the surface, everything was great. Who wants to think that someone's marriage is going to implode?
Right.
Yeah. We see this come out also on the Ireland trip. Is this going to blow up the Ireland trip? Because we've heard from Jen Fessler and a lot of the women that this is like such a fun trip that you girls really have a blast.
Yeah. Everybody had a blast.
Yeah.
Everybody except me. I wasn't like, yeah, it was tough for me. It was tough. Ireland is tough and it has nothing to do with this rumor. I'll just say that.
You ain't going back to Ireland.
No. Maybe one day I'll take Nate. We'll go frolicking on the pebble stones, but there was some fun. I shouldn't say that. It was some fun. We got drunk. The girls got drunk. It was a fun moment in time, a blip in time.
Okay, so some drama's coming.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? So funny when I was talking to Rachel and Margaret last week's episode, right? And Rachel's like, what'd I say? Yeah. I was sat there and I was like, and on camera it looks like I'm dumbfounded, like I can't figure out what she says. But in that one moment, I'm like, huh, this is who you are. This. Okay, I know where I am now, because for so long I really wanted to be friends with all these people. And I'm like, oh, I see you. That's what was going through my head. And that goes through my head a lot.
Yeah.
And then everywhere, I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Can you and Rachel come back to a better place? Because at the start of the season, it was fun to see you guys mesh together. But now it seems like there's two sides and you're on one side and she's on the other.
Nobody did anything to me that was so bad where I can't, of course, but we have to sit and talk it out like adults and not like raving maniacs,
Yeah.
And I'm always open to making amends. I don't like the feeling of fighting. I don't like it. It hurts my insides when I gotta go to a place and I'm like, oh God, who's coming for me? I don't want to do that. Yeah. I want to go to a place and I want to drink and I want to eat steaks.
Yeah.
I don't want to protect myself.
Yeah.
It was revealed earlier in the season you revealed it, that you're related to Caroline Manzo. What is your relationship with her and how would you say that might affect your relationship with Teresa, if at all?
So we're technically not related. My dad married Caroline's brother's ex-wife.
Got it.
Oh.
So Caroline has a brother.
Yeah.
He was married. They got divorced and my dad married her.
Are they still married?
Yeah. So my dad is still married to her. So Caroline, so my step brother and sister are Caroline's niece and nephew.
Yeah.
And my stepsister is best friends with Laura and Manzo. They're always together. So when we would have, family parties for my niece and nephew, her kids, they would all be there. I would see them throughout the years. I would see the show air and I'm like, the brownstone, wait, is this the Manzos? What is this show?
Yeah.
But there's no bad blood. Like when I was coming on the show, or when it was a thought, I had called them and I'm like, hey, I just want you to hear from me that this might be a thing, but I'm not going on It has nothing to do with you. And
Yeah.
you see that, like Caroline, I think we brought it up the first episode, but it's not brought up again after that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it hasn't been. I was just curious. I just love the legacy connection there, you know, that you have
Yeah,
been,
that's ironic. That's ironic, but
Only in
this-
Jersey.
you know, only in
only-
person.
Do you have a relationship with Dina? Because we see on this new episode, her name gets brought up because of the bridesmaids drama, and her and Dolores clearly have zero relationship.
I don't have a relationship with Dina. I met her a few times at the parties, but that was about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she lives across the country now.
Yeah.
so. Hmm.
So,
How are you feeling heading into, you know, the reunion will probably be filming in a couple weeks. How are you feeling heading into that?
I feel like I am excited to sit down. Excited, I don't know if that's the right term. You know,
Cautiously.
I'm looking forward to sitting down and hashing it out and speaking my mind. And I don't know what to expect. I've seen last year's reunion and they come out like guns a-blazing. So, and there's a lot to cover that really, you know, for me, it's what I went through, but everybody went through things.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have to get some stuff off their chest.
Who is the person that you feel like you need to squash things or get to a better place with the most come reunion?
Melissa, probably.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Is that relationship in flux now because of the Teresa of it all?
No, not really because of Teresa. You know what? It's like all of them, really. Melissa. Yes.
It's a divided.
It has nothing to do with Teresa. Anything I do has nothing to do with Teresa. This is all based on what people have done to me. I don't go and like someone or not like someone because of Teresa. So the narrative of like, oh, I'm this for Teresa, I don't even know what people mean by that, because this is all things that they did to me. You know, I don't play that.
I think it's just surprising to hear you say, Melissa. So should we expect like something happens between you two the rest of the season?
Not till the very end.
Okay.
That big finale fight, right? We talked to Dolores recently. She showed us the spot in the house where all the fighting was going on.
Yeah. That might be one for the books. And I don't know what other chapters were in the book, but if I'm going to call it, that would be one for the books.
Many chapters. This is a divided cast we saw. I mean, at BravoCon, I know you weren't at BravoCon, but they couldn't even be together. How does this group move forward as the unit?
I mean, haven't they done it before?
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that what they do? So I feel like we all hash it out. Maybe now watching things back, they see things a little bit differently. I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping that they see, you know, things from my side. But that's what we do. We go at it, we hash it out, we make up and move on.
Yeah. It's a cycle.
It's a vicious cycle.
On a little bit of a lighter note, how are your husband and your kids liking being on camera? I mean, your kids are hilarious in the scenes.
So cute.
They love it. We do it all day. I'm on my phone like this. Look at mommy all day long. So for them, it's, you know, fun when their friends say, "Oh, my mommy knows your mommy." Or the other day, Valentina, we're in the dentist office. Tons of people everywhere. She's dancing and she's going, "My mommy's the new housewife."
Oh my gosh.
I wanted to die. I was like, we don't say that. We just don't go around saying that, you know. But they're cute. They're innocent kids. They know nothing bad. Only Barbie and Nintendo and fun stuff.
Yeah. And how has Nate enjoyed being a part of the guy group? Because that's like a show in its own, the Jersey Man.
Totally. They get the easiest job in the world, these guys. I mean, we go at it and they're all there taking shots.
They're great.
Oh my God. He loves it. Nate's getting a lot of good attention. It's good. He's good.
Who's he tightest with of the men?
Louis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah.
He's a good dude, Louis. He's really, really good.
Yeah.
Well, we're so excited to have you on the show, and you know, you're a breath of fresh air, and we can't wait to see what the rest of the season brings. And thank you for stopping by.
Thanks,
Thank you guys for
Danielle.
having me. It's so nice meeting you, and I hope to talk to you again.
Hope
Thank
to
you
talk next.
guys.
Thanks.
All right,
Bye.
bye.